We're ready to go.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's 3 o'clock and calling to order our Finance Committee meeting for September 15th. Unbury my agenda here. All righty, so calling us to order, Commissioner Cahill,
Here.
Commissioner Elkind,
Here.
Commissioner Doyle, Commissioner Poles is not with us today. Any announcements from anyone? Not seeing any hands or hearing anyone. Any public appearances, Lisa? Do we have anybody
There-
online?
There are no members of the public in attendance. Commissioner Angbarth is listening in, and there were no comments received.
Great, thanks very much. Alrighty, moving into discussion, we'll hear about our budget, accounting and finance services workflow. And Meredith, did you want to present?
There are no changes to the workflow per se. I would like to add that in September, we have an update on the budget system procurement. A couple of things that are here is that during our budget process, we had a pilot program with ClearGov, and we had some glitches that we worked through with them. I think we had a good product in the end. In response, ClearGov has said that they'll give us a second year at no cost. So that buys us some time to look at a full budget system. And we have been looking at different product vendors, but at this time, we're going to go forward with ClearGov again to generate the budget book. Also, an update on the audit. We have a contract in place with Harshwall and Company, and we will kick off the audit this week. With that, next month we can expect a update on capital projects for the month of October.
Thank you. Any questions on the draft workflow? So I had circled the update on budget system procurement. So that was what you were telling us about. You're going to stick with whatever this process is going. What was the name again of that?
ClearGov.
Clear Duct?
Gov.
Oh, ClearGov.
I guess I do have a question.
All right.
You mentioned glitches. What basically happened that justified them giving us a second year free?
When we made edits, in particular with our attachments or images into their system, they would not save overnight. So if I made an image of, there was an image of, for example, the transmittal memo, if I had some image of some type of table in there, I saved it the night before, printed a copy, and then when I came back the next morning and opened it up, my image was missing. So it created additional work for staff. We were able to identify all of those kinds of glitches and get a final product that we were satisfied with. And so they said that they would offer us another year because they've made improvements to their system. So for example, no longer using images, but now we can upload a PDF file, for example.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
So along those lines, so this isn't like kind of a year spinning our wheels or anything. I mean, you're enough interested in the ClearGov product that they're in competitive situation with potentially others or.
Yes, see, it was, it was through our procurement process that we followed, where we got, different quotes, and we embarked on, ClearGov at the time that we did. So we did follow our procedures for that. At this time, they're offering us, a second year, under that same agreement with no additional cost.
So they could eventually be the selection, or somebody else could be the selection still, or
Well,
no?
we know that right now we're only using one module of their entire product, which is just the budget book. A full budget system, you enter all of you're formulating your budget within their system. And you could do projections, and you could separate the capital budget from your operating budget. And we could also formulate it ideally to meet the award criteria for the Government Financial Officers Association. So we could solicit an award for our budgeting process. And they have all the checkpoints. So it's, we're looking for a all-encompassing, comprehensive budgeting system. But those cost around 30,000 or more, and that would require an RFP process or an RFQ process to comply with our procurement policies.
So this is a good path to be on, just a ways to go.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The other question I had was, okay. So yeah, last month, the FY year-end unaudited financials, a draft guidance on additional discretionary payments for a pension. I noticed in the agenda that got added in here about a CalPERS update, but I don't think we have one. So did you want to reschedule that for another month?
Yes, on 4.3 in today's agenda, I was going to give you an update.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
A verbal?
Just an oral update of a timeline.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any other questions about the workflow? Okay, all right. Yes,
This may be a silly question, but the note at the bottom, a day for the budget goal setting meeting to be conducted in the fall has not been set at this time. Is that for us? Or is that, because I got the impression that staff looks at budget goal setting much earlier than generally we do.
There was a discussion, I guess, at the August Finance Committee about this, and I wasn't sure how to update it, if at all. But the Finance Committee and the Commission had discussed
Mhm.
a budget goal setting committee. But given that the library has embarked on a strategic plan, it was determined that to fold in the budget goal setting into that strategic planning process. And, Erica.
No, I get that, but my question is, when is staff starting to look at goal setting? Are you also waiting until you get farther into the strategic plan? Okay, that's the question. Thank you.
comes around quickly. I said, comes around quickly, that budget, yeah. Any other comments? Okay, thank you. Let's see. On to 4.2. The financial report for August. And Catherine or Myrna?
Where did it go? Okay, so this report includes the financial reports for fiscal year 2026, our second month into the fiscal year, August 31, 2025. And it's 2 months, 17% of the fiscal year has transpired. As you can see from the summary page, our revenue total is $117,009 combined revenue. Property tax is at $58,789. But we will not see, the significant increase until December, when is the first billing of the property tax billing cycle. And then the second installment is in April. Under sales tax, we have not received sales tax through August, and the first recording will be in September. That represents the month of July. As you know, we have a 2-month lag in recognizing these revenues. Other revenue is at $59,120, and that's primarily due to receiving initial funds from Lunch at the Library grant and some donations from the Sonoma County Library Foundation, so that we can secure our New York Times subscription. Under the expenditures, salaries and benefits were approximately $5.3 million, or 16.9% of the total budgeted. And so at this point, this does not include the COLA. The COLA will be seen in the September report. The COLA was effective as of August 24th. So we'll see that in September. Services and supplies actual expenditures were $1.7 million, or 12.2% of the budget. And capital expenditures to date were $101,033, or 11.5% of the budget. And in terms of the fund balance, is shown in the special fund activity report, and we're still working on reconciling capital projects year end for fiscal year 25. And since the fund balance ending last fiscal year impacts the next fiscal year's fund balance, we're still working through those adjustments. And so you'll see the fund balance statement in next month, in October. That's my.
Thanks, Marina. I know that we cannot yet know the sales tax figures for July and August, but we should have received the actual sales tax figures for May and June. And I didn't see them anywhere in the verbiage of the reporting. Can you give us an update on what we actually got and how that compared with what your last estimate was? And can you just nail that down for us?
I don't have those figures in front of me. I could log in and give you those figures, but we did end, we did receive August, and the last time that I projected or forecasted our sales tax, we were going to be about $400,000 short. But with the last installment, it turns out to be around $300,000 short. So we're in good shape because the interest earned on our cash balances, the market has done well and has more than closed that shortfall.
Thank you.
Two quick things I wanted to say was very remarkable salaries and benefits. I mean, it's 16.9% out of 17%. I may talk about close budgeting. Good job. And also, you made a comment about the COLA not being reflected, and effective date of 8/24 is what you said. And I think you talked about this at a special meeting, that I'm assuming it's retroactive.
Yes.
What was the 8/24 actually mean? That's the sign date of the contract, or what was that date?
That means that the COLA the COLA going forward, so pay checks going forward, the COLA is reflected as of the first pay period starting August 24, 2025.
Okay.
Then the retro is from August 23rd, 2025 to January 12th, 2025. That is a separate calculation, and our payroll team is working on that. So employees will receive their retro pay, but in a separate check. But they are currently receiving their COLA going forward. So the first COLA that they saw was on Friday's paycheck on the 12th of September.
Okay, thank you. Lastly, my last question was, I know we don't have the fund balances and we're needing to wait till the audit happens. But at some point in time, if we wanted to talk about in terms of policy on fund balance, you could give us a reasonable estimate within $1 million or so.
At this point today, I'm not prepared to do that. We're reviewing and reconciling the committed funds from last year and the modernization projects, which were, complex and many, several. So we're working through the committed funds and the the actual expenditures to bring you a good number for the fund balance.
So even an estimate would not be a good thing to look at. When do you think the final audit might be done then?
Oh, well, we could give you, so we still need to prepare that statement for our financials statements that will be audited.
Okay.
So for the finance committee meeting in October, we'll have a fund balance available
Okay.
for you. The audit itself, the kickoff is this week. And I'll know better by the end of the week what the timeline is for that, for completing the audit.
Do you think this might take a little longer since we're switching auditors?
I think we have a pretty ambitious timeline. I do have a phone call tomorrow with the auditors to just revisit the original timeline, which was that we were hoping at the latest, the audit would go to the commission in January.
Okay.
But again, I'll know better this week as I start the work with the auditors.
Great, thanks very much. Are they local, the auditors?
They have local offices in the Bay Area, but their headquarters, I think, is in Southern California.
Thank you. Alrighty, so let's see. We are on item 4.3, unassigned fund balance planning, and this would be a verbal update on CalPERS.
Yes, so at the finance committee last month, I shared the last actuarial report from CalPERS, and so that we could discuss paying down the accrued unfunded liability from our pension. And the committee gave me direction on 3 different additional discretionary payment levels. And I've been in discussion with CalPERS on forecasting what those would look like in terms of how long it would take to pay down our UAL, given any specific type of discretionary payment on an annual basis. So I'm also looking at perhaps making a one-time lump payment upfront of $1 million, $2 million or more, that really does help bring down the unfunded, the accrued unfunded liability. And then going forward on an annual basis, have, up to a $500,000 payment on an annual basis. That scenario is looking good. There's a lot of moving parts, so I'd like to bring to you a proposal in October for your consideration.
Great. So that sounds very much like what we do with OPEB. We took $3 million out of the fund balance and then set up a policy, $750,000 out of operating expense per year. So you're looking at something like that. And then I believe as Andy brought up the different funding levels and the different percentages, and David, you were both talking about. So it'll be a complex report to present to us.
I hope it'll be user-friendly and you all and reader-friendly. So I look forward to the discussion.
Great. We do too. And so we'll look forward to that in October then. Great. Thanks very much. Alrighty. Did anyone have any questions about the reports themselves? About to ask. Big reports, the questions. Thank you. Okay, item 4.4, quarterly appropriations transfer report. This was an interesting first time we've actually gotten a report like this. And appreciated the detail. And are you going to present or?
Yeah, Catherine prepared this report, but I would just like to introduce the purpose of it. It was last year about this time that the Finance Committee and the Commission reviewed a proposed policy that staff presented to delegate authority for staff to allow transfers of appropriation of budget authority. Basically, it does not increase overall appropriations, but it does allow staff to transfer appropriation from one division to another or within one division. And it is a quarterly report, and this is the first time that we're presenting it to you. And the plan is to have a quarterly report in October. For the next time, we could still present an October report, January, and then April. So, but we do acknowledge that we have a little bit of a delay here in this first time report. We hope to get feedback from you to see if this format works for you. And with that, I'd like Catherine to present.
Sure. You want to share the attachment, the appropriations transfer? So these were transfers that were done in the last quarter of last fiscal year. So this is what we're reporting on is the quarter. And we had a couple of requests to transfer from different departments, which is what we show up the front at the first. And that is a transfer between the Human Resources and Public Services Department. And the explanation, we transferred 6,500, and this was, we were moving the extra help software, which we call Sling, from HR to Public Services, because now Public Services is owning this software. Okay, and then the next one is Community Engagement wanted to purchase more books and materials for their bibliobus. So we were moving some $5,000 from Community Engagement to collections budget. And then moving down, sorry, I lost there. These are account transfers, which we stayed within the same division, but we moved from in the first line, we moved from other supplies to computer software and licensing, 60,000, because that's more of what we were actually spending. And then the next one is again in IT, we moved from other supplies to other contract services, which for 20,000 to just cover the actuals. And then the next, well, let me see, any questions on? No, okay. Okay, and then the next is the fund transfers. And this is basically we received these donations for these, our large moderation projects. And so we are moving the money out of the gifts and donations fund into our general and sales tax funds to cover the expenditure side. And then, like I said, this is Cloverdale. Go ahead and would you scroll down to the next? And those, and then coming down here is we have the Petaluma, Windsor, and then the Hillsburg donations. And then in it, I also attached, which you can look at, but the donations that we received. So any questions on that?
Questions, anybody? Comments? David?
Yeah, I really love this report.
Oh.
Gives me, now that I fully understand more what's actually going on. So I think the format is good and plenty of detail for me anyway.
Yeah, thank you. I felt the same way. It was nice and clear and I liked all the explanations were clear and plenty of detail. It wasn't just initials and so forth. I had one tiny reaction. It seemed to me that account transfers should be first because that's transfers within the same department. And then you're talking about between departments would be second and then funds would be last. It's in terms of order of magnitude.
Great. Thanks for the feedback. Sure. Happy to adjust that.
And then, what was my other comment? Oh, I know. I liked seeing these letters that were sent out, thanking the different friends groups and stuff for their money. I mean, it just added, great detail and, just, it was just more explanation for us to see what you're dealing with. So anyway, good job. I thought it was terrific.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All good? Okay, you have a round of total support. Thank you very much for your work. So let me just say something before this. Way back in the mists of time, before we had anybody like these, working with the commission, we had to do things like this at home. And so I know Deborah hates it when I talk about this, but we used to do agendas at home and stuff. So anyway, I actually wrote this policy and I wrote it at home on my home computer. And so I found it yesterday. I still have it and I can revise it and or not. But one of the things that I noticed in the roles and responsibilities is that we met at the Central Library. And of course that needs to be changed because we don't meet there. But I thought maybe we should agendize this for the next time, in case you all have, other comments or so forth. Because I mean, I wrote this, 10 years ago. Mostly we had no guidance. We were just a committee without structure. And then I believe that some of the other committees kind of adopted this framework, but it's not set in cement. So I'm going to suggest that we agendize this, a review of this for your homework before we next meeting. So, anyway, that being said, I'll accept nominations for chair of the finance committee meetings. David,
I move that Barbara McKenzie be elected as chair of the Library Commission Finance Committee.
Second.
The reason is she's done a really good job at two important functions: moving the agenda forward and helping the commission reach consensus. So I think it's a great job.
Second.
Third.
wow, thank you. It's almost unanimous. We'll assume that Tina Poles would also vote for me, but anyway.
Oh, you never know.
All righty, well,
Additional
then-
note. I don't hate it when you talk about that. I think that it's good to talk about the history, but it's also good to look forward. And so I think if we take a look at the description and decide what it should look like in the future, we will be moving forward. So I think it's a great idea for you to bring it up.
Thank you and thank you. Appreciate that.
And
Something
Chair,
to add,
oh,
if we know that some of our commissioners have expressed that they will be leaving at the end of their terms. And several of them are on this committee, so I think it would be beneficial to have that discussion so that when we have a new committee, that people understand what their roles are.
Yes.
We should be recruiting for people with finance experience.
and before we go further, you'll want to take a roll call vote for the action
I'm-
on the floor.
Still enjoying this.
But yes, no, keep enjoying it,
Acclamation.
but we wanna roll call vote before we move on.
We will do that. Alrighty, Commissioner Cahill,
Yes.
Commissioner Elkine,
Yes.
Commissioner Doyle.
Yeah.
Commissioner McKenzie, I will add yes, vote for myself, why not? So, approved, I guess I will be the chair for the coming year. And, nominations for the vice chair.
We have a lot to change.
We do, Commissioner Cahill.
Okay.
I'd like to renominate Commissioner
Thank you.
Cahill
And I will second.
for his outstanding work.
I even presided at a meeting.
That's right.
Did.
Okay?
That covered for me that night. It was getting dark.
Yes.
That's right.
I freaked out.
You got a first and a second.
All,
Roll call
roll
vote.
call. Alrighty, Commissioner Doyle,
Yes, I.
Commissioner Elkine,
Yes.
Commissioner McKenzie, yes, and you want to vote for yourself?
Yes.
Mr. Kale, all right, unanimous. Good job, David.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I was able to include David in we did the initial budget
Yeah.
conversations. So I think this is a really good thing for the chair and the vice chair to be involved in as many things as they can be. So you has, informed backup.
Right.
Okay, so that'll be our plan going forward.
Yes.
All righty, well, thank
And
you.
that's with a good thing.
Why mess with a good thing? Why reinvent the wheel? Alrighty, so we find ourselves toward the end here, agenda items for future committee. So I suggest revising the roles and responsibilities, or at least looking at it. And then also, I wasn't clear, Erica, what you thought we should discuss, like adding new members to, because we can't do that. Okay.
The roles and responsibilities,
It's just a good thing for new people to have, is
Yes,
what you're saying?
yeah, so I think the committee
Okay,
should, review it, discuss it, make any changes so that next year, when we need to appoint some new folks, they have some clear direction on how to perform their duties.
gotcha. So that's part of the same discussion.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll do that next time, and we'll also have our excellent updated CalPERS report. And anything else you'd like to discuss next month? Celebrate
Do you
Halloween.
feel confident that you'll have the information you need, CalPERS, to present to us in October on what the pension options are?
I believe so. I believe so. They provide a tool that allows employer members to project out. So I look forward to writing that report.
Is, we don't have to have a discussion now, but I'm just curious, because I don't report to have any expertise here, but I'm thinking, gee, if, they have a certain discount rate that they use in their projections. If we know that, and we know the schedule of additional contributions, we should be able to calculate without a great deal of difficulty what the impact would be of a certain amount over a certain period of time. Is what they provide you more sophisticated than that?
A little more. They do build in our unique gains and losses into the system, into their model. They allow you to, it's just easier. It's basically a spreadsheet, so we don't have to do it ourselves.
Okay, all right.
We don't have to do our own model. It's there.
So does that mean that, for example, and I'm not proposing that we do this, but we gave you a certain number of scenarios. We said, hey, we'd like to see what would be the impact of these amounts, and can we get to this percentage? Does the spreadsheet that they gave you enable you to pretty quickly change those parameters? Okay, great. So Yeah, if you could bring that and show it to us, I think that'd be helpful.
The model itself or the,
Well, if you could just, I'd like to see the results, but if you could just pull up the spreadsheet for us and show us what's mechanically involved, I think that would be a plus.
well, I would like to, since we're on this topic, is that the caveat is that with any forecast, well, not with any forecast. As economists say, the projection is for a fixed point in time. Assumptions are made with the discount rate. Assumptions are made about gains and losses on what we already know. We can't predict the future exactly what gains and losses might be. Or, CalPERS does change their discount rate every few years, and we're looking at something between 10 and 15 years projection here. So their assumptions they're assumptions, and the reality is that things could change. So therefore, this is our best estimate of paying down our UAL.
David,
And we make it clear that, well, it would be nice for you to receive CalPERS stuff. I'm gonna rely on your figures.
Oh, yes, these are my figures, my estimates. If you want me to develop a model, then I will need more time, and I don't know if I have all the resources, given everything that we need to do to do that. I think this is not fully agendized, I could give you the proposal, show you what CalPERS has to offer, and if I will take direction from the committee at that point.
okay, Deborah.
Because things are interesting financially, in terms of what's happening in Washington, in terms of what's happening in Sacramento, you've been very good about, describing the reality and then also looking forward a year, something like that. If you're looking at what might happen in the county, and this is probably you and Erica, perhaps the commission might, or the committee or the commission might benefit from, and this may be part of the strategic plan also, but how is it going to look? What do we think is going to happen? If the tariffs continue to be high, is that going to have an impact on us? Or are we pretty safe with our property tax and our sales tax? So I'm not asking that to be an agenda item for the next meeting, but I do think that if you have sort of hints about that kind of thing, it would be good to ask the chair to put it on the agenda so that we can talk about it when we need to, because we all hate surprises. And you all are closer to it than we are. So I think that your experience and what you're looking at in the library community, but also in Sonoma County, would be very helpful to us to hear.
Thank you. I think we're all starting to see the different governments report about their big fear factors, and, seeing the county and the funding, the health plans, and, there's,
Mhm.
just starting to really see how it's gonna filter down. When you brought up a strategic plan, something that you said this morning at the Friends meeting, and I see our date up there of October the 20th, is that around when you expect those listening sessions to happen that same week?
No, it'll be the week before.
Be the week
So it's
before.
the week of October 13th through the 17th.
Okay,
And I'm actually leaving on the 17th to go to northern Minnesota, so I will not be at the October 20th meeting. And my cabin has no internet and not very good cell phone service, so.
Sounds like an actual vacation.
Gee.
Wow.
It's a family cabin. My great grandfather built it and all my family has added on to it over the years.
How fun.
but it's 30 miles west of Duluth. So it's very far north and right in the middle of the state.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're here for the week of the consultants and the listening sessions, then you're taking off and you won't be with us. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We wish you a great time. We'll wish you a great time again, when closer to the date. Anything else to wrap us up today? Alrighty, well, thanks everybody for participating and see you soon, no doubt. You're off for Indiana tomorrow. Wow. Albuquerque